Everyone knows I'm a fan of Ravencoin, although lately hasn't been that great. Some developments just not working out the way that we thought they should anyway. But I wanted to take a look at it and see what's going on with the project, and also how to mine it using Hashr8 OS. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, what's up, savages? Let's check out what's going on with Ravencoin. Real quick, I want to try to keep the streams a little bit shorter than they have been, so I'm going to go kind of quick here. What is Ravencoin actually? If you don't know by now, it is purpose-built for asset token creation at the protocol level, which is a lot different than a lot of other projects that tout having asset capability, right? This is at the protocol layer is where the assets actually are managed from, created, and transferred, and all that stuff. Eventually, they'll have messaging capabilities to send messages to token holders. That's something that's coming up. They'll also have a voting system to allow voting by token holders as well. They'll also have rewards to allow transfer of profits or dividends to token holders. They have a unique asset naming system where there's no duplicates. And they also have metadata through IPFS, and I actually did a video on this. The Ravencoin X16R, this is an older video from earlier in the year, asset use case. Part 3B, because this is whenever my machine was crashing, so there's like 3 parts to this one stream. But this goes over the IPFS situation and actually storing information on in IPFS, interplanetary file system, and how you would use it with how there is one way that you could use it with Ravencoin. So it's kind of like a real quick little use case in specific to me and my environment, I guess you could say. So check that out if you're interested in IPFS and how it applies to the Ravencoin network and storing asset data and things like that. They're also implementing restricted assets and tags. This is kind of new. This is something kind of came up with the whole SEC, kind of getting involved and how to not be a security and all those different things. There's basically, if you wanted to have an asset on the Ravencoin network that you don't want to actually be a security, then restricted assets and tags are going to help you with that. They're enhancements to the asset creation and management features built into Ravencoin at the protocol level. So these are things that are coming up. Now, they did have this little situation where there was, the increase of hash rate and suspicion of ASICs on the network, and there definitely were. We saw that with the fork to X16R v2. So that kind of got in the middle of this particular roadmap, and it was something that they didn't really plan on. So I think that the development have kind of slid to the right, as they say, because of having to implement this hard fork and all that stuff. So yeah, but as far as I can tell, they're still busy, they're still developing, and I don't know where they're at in the roadmap or the development. I haven't been keeping that close of an eye on it, but it's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to kind of do a show on it and just try to figure out what's going on with Ravencoin. Plus, we can mine it on Hashr8 OS, and that'll be kind of cool. All right, so let's take a quick look at the actual roadmap. So if you go to their roadmap, you can see like phase 1 was obviously just getting up and running, establishing the ports and all the basic, protocol level stuff. And then phase 2 was creating the assets. That happened at the end of 2018 is whenever that was actually enabled. And so we've been on that for more than a year now. Some things that are in progress. Now that's complete. Phase 2 is complete. Some things that are in progress are the rewards, like I spoke of earlier, being able to send rewards to Raven asset holders. Not necessarily Ravencoin itself, right? We're talking about if you have, and if you've created an asset on the network, like SavageMine or some other actual asset, then you could issue those out and actually issue rewards to the token holders. So, for example, if I sent you one SavageMine token or asset, then not the asset, but one of the I guess it would be considered a token, not. So if I sent you one of these, then I could actually distribute rewards if there were any. Obviously, there's not going to be any, but if there were, if this was like let's say you had an asset for a housing complex or an apartment building that you rented out, and you have different investors, and each investor owned a certain portion of those assets, then you could actually, if you had profits from that apartment building, for example, through rent and all that stuff, then you could actually issue those profits to the token holders. That's one of the use cases of Ravencoin also. So anyway, all right, I'm kind of getting off track here, but anyway, so that's rewards. And then you have unique assets. That's complete. That's basically where you have an asset underneath of I forget what they call them. I'm going to forget all the terminology because it's been a while since I looked at this. So you've got the, let's see if I can figure this out real quick. Trying to find the terminology that I want to use here. I would say like top level asset, and then unique assets are below that, I guess is the way to describe it. But okay, so you got original asset, and then unique assets underneath of that. So, in the case of my use case that I used for the example in this video here, is I created a unique asset for a GPU, right? And the whole, you'd have to watch this video. It's not really, it's 41 minutes. It's not that bad, but it does go through a use case that I implemented that I was looking at implementing for the hosting of GPUs and rigs, and then how to issue out the rewards, whatever was mined that month or whatever, so that's what this video is actually about. Kind of a cool use case, I thought, but just haven't progressed down that road very much. So here's me creating the actual unique asset right here. So yeah, it goes over it pretty well, I think. So if you want to check that out, you can. So that's unique assets, and then they've got messaging coming up. That's not implemented yet either. Voting is another thing that they're working on. Compatibility mode has to do with being able to list your assets created on the Ravencoin network on an exchange or wallets, explorers, and things like that. So that is something that is also coming up. Mobile wallet, mnemonic seed. I think this has to do with importing and exporting private keys between different wallets and stuff, and whether or not it's going to work. All right, so that is basically their roadmap and what's going on with Ravencoin. All right. So as I talked about earlier a little bit, you had let's go with a year here, time frame. So this is the Ravencoin network hash rate. You can see right here, around in this area, there were probably FPGAs and ASICs coming online here. And then they mined for a while. There was a lot of discussion throughout this time, like, hey, I think we have ASICs on the network, blah, blah, blah. And then as time went on, right around here, I think was whenever it was announced that, or this could have been when new ASICs came online, but I think it was around this time that it was announced that they were going to hard fork because of this, the ASIC threat, right? I did a video on that as well. I was actually live during the hard fork. Anyway, so because of the announcement, I think that they turned all the miners on, because all the ASICs, all the FPGAs, they were like, okay, they're gonna fork, so we got to get what we can while we can, right? So that's why it just jumped up like this, all the way to 20. I think it went to 27 at one point, 27 terahash. And then they forked, and then boom, it dropped way down to 6.73, and then it's kind of crept up a little bit. There's some suspicion that there might be ASICs and or FPGAs in this area too, although it does, and it kind of makes sense because it pretty much matches what was going on before this huge pump right here in hash rate. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It looks like, you know, it's decreasing a little bit, but it doesn't look like GPUs. GPUs would probably still be down in this area here. But I don't know. I don't know how to analyze this stuff really closely. So anyway, it's sitting about 10 terahash right now. And if you look at basic profitability for Ravencoin right now, it's should be okay today. It should be maybe even okay. So it's up to 2 cents on this particular rig, NVIDIA rig. Some older cards, but let's go ahead and look at. Let's just go with 11660 at 11 kilohash, or sorry, kilowatt per kilowatt hour. Golly, I'm a little bit tired, so. All right, so it looks like 11660 gets about 6 cents a day on Ravencoin right now. That's a pretty common card. Let's go with 11660 Ti. About 6 cents after power. All right. We move up a little bit here, go with the 2060. It's actually less than a 1660. 2070. Wow, it's way down there. Worse. So yeah, right now, efficiency wise, for sure, 1660 and 1660 Ti are both pretty much killing it. Check out a 1080 Ti here. Yeah, 4 cents. So I mean, nothing's like, you know, really killing it or anything, but as far as cost and efficiency and all that stuff, 1660 is looking pretty good on Ravencoin at this point. Let's look at what Ravencoin was doing today in the market. Do a quick refresh here. So up about 8%, kind of right in line with BTC. They were actually below, if I'm not mistaken, they were below 2 cents. They're still, I don't see it as much as during this time, but I do still see some pretty big dumps on the market. You know, if you follow the whale bot on Twitter for Ravencoin, you can see it happening. Although, again, like I said, I haven't seen one in a while that I remember being really substantial. There used to be 6 million, 7 million, you know, at a time, and it was really frustrating to see that because it was going straight to Binance, and you know that they're just dumping it, and that was the ASIC farms and possibly FPGAs dumping it to pay for their electric. You know, it's just this vicious cycle. So anyway, so that's what's going on with Ravencoin as far as the market goes. All right, so let me check the chat, see if anybody's in here. There's a few people right on. What's up, Red Panda? What's up, Yashnik? Haven't seen you in a while. What's up, Crypto Z? Jarrett, Ronus 420. What's up, man? Yeah, I know, right? Come on, Ravencoin, do something. Yeah, the development's just been a little slow. I think that they got sidetracked a little bit with the whole hard fork and all that stuff. And this is kind of a telltale sign also, because the main pools are in China, right? F2 pool, or some of the main pools, not all of them. So they're in China. That kind of tells you that it's possible, you know, there's still possibly some ASICs out there. I think that the change from X16R to X16R V2 might not have been enough. And if it's again, you know, we've talked about this before. I talked about it on the stream whenever we were talking about this particular topic. If any project is profitable enough to justify the creation and the printing of the circuits and burning and designing and developing an ASIC for it, they're going to do it if it's going to be profitable for them. It's going to happen. You know, that's why you see, okay, so like some of the smaller cap projects will claim that they are ASIC resistant, but they can claim it mainly because of their market cap and their value. They're just not, no one's looking to design an ASIC for that algorithm. They could, but they're not looking to design an ASIC for it and to pay for the production and the manufacturing if it's not profitable enough. So once Ravencoin got to that level where it was a huge market cap, you know, and the hash rate was low enough to where they were, you know, ASIC manufacturers or the people over there doing this kind of thing were saying, okay, we can do this and we're going to make money. And then, you know, and that's basically what you saw happen. Small cap coins, you know, that claim ASIC resistance, it's really a financial thing, because you could create an ASIC to do anything. Any algorithm. There's not one that is truly ASIC resistant. If it's profitable enough for them, they can do it. All right, so let's get back to this. All right, close that. Close that. So I want to use, and I'm actually already mining Raven on Hashr8 OS. I just fired it up just so that I could make sure it was going to work and everything. So anyway, let's go to the spreadsheet that we used to use, and we'll just blast through this real quick. And I'll show you the way that I do something. If I was going to mine a new coin, I would document some things about it so that I have it easily accessible. So Ravencoin is now on X16R v2. Basically, they added in an extra algorithm into the 16, and it varies now. I think it'll be, sometimes it'll be 17, sometimes it'll be 21, and it varies between the total number between, I think it's between 17 and 21. It just depends on how, because there's some randomization in there that goes on. All right, so let's go and collect our data, show you where to get it from. So I'm going to go to what to mine and go to coins, and then look for Raven. And that'll give us some information that's important. You can see right here, algorithm X16RV2, block time is 60 seconds. So we can throw that on our documentation. Not that you have to have it, but it's just good to have so that you kind of know the project and what's going on with it. I think that block rewards are 5,000 still, yep. So we'll go like that. All right, and the pool and the port that we're going to use, if you go back to mining pool stats.stream, you can see the pools here. Let's go with, what am I going to choose? 2 miners, because I like their pool, and I like their hash rate charts and all that stuff. So we'll try 2 miners. We'll go with that. What's up, Crypto Mikhail? Oh, congratulations, Ronus. Good job getting Hashr8 up and running on Zell. I like both of those. Good choices. All right, so on the 2 miners Ravencoin pool, I just went to, actually, how did I get here? Oh, I clicked, how did I get here? Yeah, I clicked over here. All right, so. Also over here, you can collect some of the other information that we'll need for the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Let's see here. I'm kind of going out of order. Let's not go out of order. Let's go back to the pool. All right, so the pool and the port. So I clicked on 2 miners here. It's been a couple hours since they hit a block. There's a lot of miners on it. That's a lot. 20,000 miners on that one. Okay. All right. Let's go back over here, and so I click there, and then on 2 miners you can click how to start, and then it'll give you the information that you need, the pool and the port right here. We're going to copy that. We're going to throw that into the spreadsheet. Then we're going to need a wallet receiving address. So in this case, I want to use the Zelcore wallet, I think. So I'll use Zelcore. We'll go to Ravencoin, receive, click that, because you can mine to the Zelcore wallet, which is cool. All right, so I'll say Zelcore for the wallet type. All right, CoinMarketCap USD value. And anything that's grayed out on that spreadsheet there, it's not really required, you know, it's just like kind of good to have information. Again, kind of documenting your progress or the process, not progress, but process. So we're going to go with CoinMarketCap value. Market cap is 114 million USD. Volume, again, just good to have information. You don't have to have this to actually mine it. The only things that you actually have to have are not grayed out, right? So they're in white right here. For the most part, you have to have that. Maximum supply, 21 billion. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at the rank. 43, that's up there. Man, I want to say that they were hanging around 60 for a really long time, so is that a good thing? I guess so. But the USD value sure isn't showing it, is it? All right, so what to mine information here. Throw that in there like that. Bitcoin talk thread. You can go to, the cool thing about miningpoolstats.stream is whenever you look up a coin, you can get to a lot of the really cool information if you scroll down. RVN links, you know, for each project it'll have the links section down here, which is kind of cool. So in this case, you can just, we want to get the Bitcoin talk announcement thread. So I just right clicked on that and said open a new window, and here we are. And the announcement date was April 2nd of 2018. All right. And then for mining help, I don't know if they have something really specific. I would say they do have Discord. And in this case, you could probably hit up specifically, because we're using Hashr8 OS, they have a really great Discord, so I would hit up their Discord over there and say, hey, I'm trying to mine Ravencoin, you know, and then go from there. So, all right. If you are mining Ravencoin, I would not suggest doing so on AMD. It's just really not efficient. We're going to go with NVIDIA, and we'll use T-Rex. If you were going to use AMD, I think you would use, there's several ones you could use, but was it Team Red Miner or something? I think that does both. I don't remember. I think that's right there, Team Red. I think that does. I don't know. I don't mind Raven on AMD, so I'm not too familiar with it. We can find out pretty quick though. All right, so we're gonna use T-Rex, and then we'll go over the options and stuff like that, and once we get to that point. All right, so our spreadsheet's pretty much done here. So now let's go to, let's keep that open. We'll go back there. Don't need that. Don't need that. All right, so now we're back to Hashr8 OS. So if we were going to mine this from the beginning, if we were going to set it up from the beginning, in this case, I'm already mining it. Let's see here. So I definitely need to get more experience with Hashr8 OS because I get lost really quick for some reason. Okay, so we will go to wallets. That's where you kind of have to start. And you can see right here that I added a Zelcore wallet, and it's the only thing that's in there is the Raven address, right? So we'll just do, you could edit an existing, right? But in this case, I'm going to show you creating a wallet. So you just go add wallet. We'll go YouTube, just so that I know that it's only for YouTube. Add wallet. And then it wants you to, or you don't have to, you can click cancel right here and it'll actually create the wallet, but it just won't have any coins in it, right? So in this case, we are going to choose Ravencoin. Select a coin, we'll go Raven. Sounds good to me. The pool, we're going to use 2 miners. And it's 6060, I believe, was the port. Yeah, right here. So it'll be this top one. I think these are a nice hash or something right here. All right, then for the wallet, I grabbed that from Zelcore, right? So here's my Zelcore wallet. And then the miner, we're going to use T-Rex, the latest version that's in here. And then this is something I actually had a question about. So if you want to add miner options, then this is where you would do it, right? So you see the little pencil here for editing. So you click that, and then you can add in different values, you know, if you need to. And the way it works is like, let's say you were doing the algo, because for T-Rex it has the algo parameter, right? So it's x16r, v2, it looks like that. But I don't know if you have to do that or if the OS does that for you. I don't know. So I'm going to cancel this because I want to see if it actually puts it in there for you. So we're going to click save here. See how easy this is. Then we're going to go to rigs. That's not right. Then we're going to go, we should have went to dashboard, I think. And then if you click on, put a check mark there next to the rig and then click action and then mining. And then you say, okay, there's another way to get there too. But this is the screen that you want to get to. So I think you can go through here like this. And then here you get to the same window. And I think that is the only, I want to say those are the only ways to get there. Nope, you can also just click that. Okay, so from the dashboard, you can go over here to mining settings, right? You can click that and get to that same screen. So this is a screen that you want to get to whenever you are, or this is the window that you want to get to whenever you are changing what the rig is mining, okay? So we're going to choose the YouTube wallet. These are your wallets over here. The only coin that's in there is Ravencoin, so I'm going to choose that. And then the only miner is T-Rex, so I'm going to choose that. And then I'm going to apply to all. And then what you'll see is, what you should see, I think it's going to stop mining and then restart. I think it will restart the miner. Yeah, there you go. So it kicked it out. You can see that right there at the bottom. And then on the actual dashboard here, you can see the 0 hash rate. And what something that's really cool about Hashr8 OS is it tells you so much, like right here, this little spot right here in the hash rate, and then like this is a really informative dashboard item here because you can see which pool you're on very easily, which miner you're using. So yeah, this is like super cool. The total wattage, uptime, a lot of good information in this one little swim lane, I guess you could say here. Pretty cool. All right, so we are back up and running. We are back up and mining at 110. So it looks like you don't have to set that miner options setting in there in the wallet. It looks like it does it for you. Maybe it's a pool thing. Maybe the pool supports it like that, and it just knows that since you're on that port that you're mining Raven. I don't know, but it looks like it worked flawlessly, so that is cool. So we are actually mining Ravencoin on the new settings. We didn't change very much. So as far as my overclock settings, right now I'm getting overclock settings from, believe it or not, I'm getting my overclock settings from What to Mine. So if you go over here and click on, or not click on it, but just put your mouse over each little block of which GPU you have, it actually has what they use to determine the hash rates that you should see down there at the bottom. And come to find out, they're pretty dang efficient, right? And pretty close to what you should use, right? But if you want to get down in the weeds and do a little bit of fine tuning, which we probably should, since we are looking for efficiency these days and we need to maximize our hash per watt. So if you are going to do that, I would recommend going to Mine Today. And then over here on the left, you'll see overclocks. So if you click on overclocks, I'll turn this to dark theme. So first we will go with the first one, which is a GTX 1070. We'll go here, we'll change this to 1070. Algorithm X16R V2. And then search. And what this does is it gives you some baseline, right? So just some decent numbers to start with. Wow, I'm seeing something really odd here. That's not normal. Normally, this right here, this must have changed from. Normally, you would see negative 502 or minus 502 on the memory clock was pretty much the standard. But maybe since the fork, they being, you know, different testers and people that are sitting around fine tuning, you know, very precisely fine tuning their GPUs. It looks like maybe a negative 1564 might be the new minus 502. So yeah, used to the real standard memory clock mining Raven was minus 502 on memory. So let's try it. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. So 1564. We go to tuning here. I'm on the 1070. I only have one of them in the rig right now. Oh, what was the core here? So core was on 1070. This is a TI here. So on the 1070, it's 119 core. Negative 15 minus 1564. I'm never going to remember those numbers. All right, let's give this. Whoa, what happened there? Stop! What are you doing? That is weird. It is like it's got a mind of its own right now. Let's get out of there. That was weird. All right, let's go back to there. Overclocks, night mode, 1070, X16R V2, search. All right, so 119, 1564. Minus 1564. Power was 131, which is super high. Yeah, I'll try it. Let's see what happens. Actually, you know what we need? We need to get a baseline here first, just to kind of look at. And any type of really fine tuning of Ravencoin, as far as hash rate goes, is kind of weird because it's 16, 17 different algorithms. So, and they're all different, and they would each require their own in specific settings as far as overclock to be completely optimized. So it's kind of weird to even worry about this, but we'll just say it's looking like about 17. All right, so we'll go with 17. We'll come in here, I think it was 119 minus 1564. 131. Is that what it was? Yep. 131. That's going to be a lot of power draw. Okay. So apply that. You can see it changed over here. And then update rig. So that it's restarting the miner now. And obviously, you know, I mean, this is like real quick. Normally you would take 24-hour samples or, you know, 8-hour samples or something like that to determine what your hash rate actually is. You want to look at an average. You don't want to look at like right this second, because it's going to, especially with Ravencoin, it's going to change often. Now that did seem to boost the hash rate a little bit, maybe, because this is early on, but it does seem to have increased a little bit. But what worries me is the power, because that is a huge amount of power. So I don't think at this point, it's not, the efficiency of adding all that power just isn't there, because you're not getting a lot of mega hash for it. So and I don't know why it's at 136 whenever I set it to 131. So again, it just fired back up, so it's trying to figure itself out here. Trying to level out. We can use this as kind of like to compare. We'll just play around with this for a minute, but I do want to go over here to miners, and we'll throw in show you how to monitor on the pool. So this is pool side. Every pool is going to be different, but you're basically looking for where you can enter in your miner address. Sometimes you'll have to go to the actual coin. I think on this one you can actually go out to miners. Yeah, so see, even at the root level, the top level of the website, if you put in your miner address here and then click search, it should go and find you basically what you're mining, right? See, it knows from that information, it knows it's Ravencoin, so that's cool. And it shows you your current hash rate, how many workers you have online. Oh wow, that's cool. It shows you what your reward would be if the pool finds a block. That's kind of cool. I never knew that. That's a cool feature there. And that's based on, your hash rate compared to everybody else's in the pool. Percentage, right? This right here. Your reward. So the more hash rate, the higher the reward. Yeah, wow, that's cool. This is such an improved website here. I really like it a lot. All right, so now I showed you how to check out your stats on. Looks like I'm almost gaining 1 Raven here. That's kind of neat. So this is poolside, monitoring what's going on with your system, whether or not you're actually mining or not. All right, cool. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, so see that the wattage, I went from 105. I started at 105 and it was doing 18 here on the 1070. Again, I know this is Ravencoin, it's going to vary drastically, but it's probably mining the same algorithm that it was whenever I first restarted it. So restarted the miner. There's a pretty good chance of that. So we're probably looking at fairly accurate. See, now it looks like it might have changed because now it jumped up to 22. So it probably changed the algo that's currently on. So I don't really want to waste too much time like actually going through this, but I showed you where to get your baseline overclocks from. Looks like the 1660. This MSI unknown right here is 1660 Super. Super nice card. Really efficient. I mean, look at what it's doing right now, and this is with little tuning. This is actually 1660 numbers. Let me see if they have. Go over here and see if they have 1660 Super in here yet. Oh, they do. All right, so let's check this out. Let's do this. Okay, so they got no entries. So nobody, it looks like wherever the data is pulled from, I think it's Hashr8 OS where it gets this from. Like a database of currently mining and what the models are and how many people are actually using these specific settings over here. So it looks like nobody is. So let's go with a 1660 and just see if we can get a close number here. Or at least some kind of a baseline. Yeah, see right here? 502. I'm guessing that, and this was X16R V2. I'm sorry, X16R regular. So I'm thinking that that new number, 1564 or whatever it was, is probably the new 502. It's just kind of a community standard for the memory clock of Ravencoin. 4 doesn't matter that much because it's mostly memory intensive algorithms. Or I might have that backwards. The problem is that it changes. That's right. So the algorithm changes. You know, it's random, so it's hard to tune it specifically for an algorithm, a specific one. So kind of neat. But we could go in here and mess around with that also. It's not even really that close, but you can see 17 megahash on 70 watts and compare it to these other ones. Like this is a 1070 Ti right here. I mean, that is some serious efficiency. And the 20% fan, I mean, the thing is running super cool. They're just really awesome cards. Really awesome. And that's the 1660 Super. Yeah, I know, right, Red Panda? It's yelling at me now. What's up, the crypto noob? All right, so I think I'm going to end it right there. I will probably do another premiere tomorrow. I'm trying to follow Red Panda's lead here on that, and I'm trying to do a premiere pretty much right after he does a premiere. So it's usually at 12:30 in the afternoon. So I'll probably get that done and uploaded tonight, and then I'll be live again tomorrow night, same time and all that stuff. Let me check my notes and make sure that I covered everything I wanted to. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. Tell your friends about this super legit, cool guy on the internet that talks about crypto stuff. And then, you know, point them to Red Panda Mining's YouTube channel. And then maybe, you know, you can say, oh yeah, there's this other guy over here. He's all right too. All right, so also follow me on Twitter. Make sure that you do that because I do keep you up to date with what's going on the channel. And I haven't been that active on there lately, but occasionally I'll tweet about crypto related stuff. So be sure to follow me over there. And it's SavageMine on both of them, on YouTube and Twitter. All one word, looks like this right here. So that is going to do it for me. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I will see y'all tomorrow night, same time and channel and all that stuff. Stay savage, everybody.